Shut up and sit down.
Hello and welcome to the Nerddom channel's Levels of Ridiculousness, or LoR Podcast. I am your host, at least as of this episode, Ozpin, and I'm joined today by my co-host and friend, DK.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's DK.
Levels of Ridiculousness is a show dedicated to all things nerd, as for the course here at Nerddom, and focuses on discussions between DK and myself centered around each episode's chosen topic. Our topic for today's episode of LoR is friendly anime recommendations.
Because why not anime?
Yeah, why not anime? We love anime here. Maybe a little bit more
Too
in
much.
a healthy vein than some people.
Yeah.
Apparently some people, they are called the mythical weeboo.
Oh god, the weeboos. The attack of the weeboos.
I've yet to really encounter a real weeboo.
Pray that you don't.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Weeboo girls.
Still no.
Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. This is the first episode
Of the actual put together version of LoR.
Yeah, this is the first episode of Levels of Ridiculousness that is going to have a set up episode structure. We've been working on this for the last few weeks. We've been working on modifying the channel significantly in the last couple of weeks. We're probably going to start a new Let's Play that will be running alongside Metal Gear Solid.
And as you say that, see you later next time, guys. Bye. Just joking. Sorry.
That's the end of the podcast, everybody.
Yeah, bye.
You can always find more episodes of... Anyway. Yeah, we should be starting a new Let's Play to run alongside Metal Gear Solid, and that will probably be released on the same day.
Yes.
We're still going back and forth on that, but things will probably be easier for us on the technical aspect of things for them to just come out both on Friday.
The layout's going to be the same. It's fun facts and fast facts on Monday. Well, the LoR podcast on Wednesdays, and everything game Friday.
Yeah. Game Fridays. We'll come up with a fun name for that. But yeah, that's...
That wraps up that bit.
Yeah, that's channel and podcast updates for y'all. So let's go ahead and move on to what we have been up to. And DK, why don't you start?
I have been making a level 6 dragonborn human character. A human with a blessed by a dragon. The particulars of the dragon have not decided yet, but it essentially gives me the abilities of a dragonborn, but still look like a human. And essentially, I'm Natsu from Fairy Tale.
Which I still have not watched. I still have not gotten.
I reject it because of the ending. We'll go about that's
that
a whole
happens,
nother episode.
That happens a lot. That seems to be a trend for anime with you. But it's like, I reject this because the ending sucks.
Yes, but the ending pissed me off.
I don't blame you sometimes.
But back to my character, he's a level 1 war mage and 5 levels into fighter, the Bone Knight, and you get those from Homebrew, Middle Finger of Vecna, the website.
Yes, Middle Finger of Vecna is a great website containing a lot of very interesting, if not gag / laughable laugh-worthy fan classes and fan races.
Very much so. Like the War Mage is a base class, so it's one of the classes you'd get like a rogue or a fighter or a monk. It's just a base class. That's the starting. It has the archetypes in it and everything. And then I'm doing a fighter Bone Knight, which is the normal fighter up to level 3, and then the archetype Bone Knight from Metal Finger Vecna. Because they do the archetypes, and they do base classes, and then they even have new spells there.
Which gives you... it gives you similarities with Wolverine, but it also gives you like a full-on bone exoskeleton.
And I have a tail that moves, made out of bone. It's really creepy. It's more like a bone dragon type-esque feel to it.
DK's actually the character you're talking about. For the sake of the listeners, the character he's talking about is actually for a game that I will be running come November. So I'm looking forward to seeing that in action, because you're going to be able to do upwards, when you get to a slightly higher level, you'll be able to do upwards of 6 attacks per round.
7
attack. God damn.
And at least 3 of those...
You terrify me. You know that? You terrify me.
At least 3 of those will be cantrips that go along with a melee attack.
Per round?
Yes.
I think you can only cast one spell per round.
No. There's special abilities. War mages can cast multiple.
Damn it, war mages.
But at higher level war mages.
Oh, God.
I think in war mage, they're max out at 3 at 5th level. But they can just pop them off. They can action surge. When you action surge, you can do another spell.
God.
When you get that at second level.
I don't look forward to you using that.
Yeah, I'm going to be a god slayer.
Yeah, well.
But I'm not going to abuse it. I'm going to be cool.
Your story is that your bloodline is blessed by a dragon.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to that, because, at least as I know of right now, so I won't be spoiling anything for anyone, because nobody else that is going to be in the game listens to the show.
Okay, yeah.
And we start next month. But DK is aware, whereas the other members of the party are not aware. This game is going to be moved to Ravenloft after a few sessions. I intend to run a long-term game in Ravenloft.
Oh, the Strahd is strong in this one.
You're gonna wish it was Strahd.
Yeah.
Strahd's easy.
Mother of God.
Even because I have a couple of players who know that we're going to Ravenloft, 2 of which I can think of specifically, I am creating my own Ravenloft pantheon.
Yes.
I guess that...
Because the 32 gods of the Forgotten Realms aren't enough. And the 26 gods of Dragonlance, and so on and so forth, are just not enough pantheons.
That's my problem, is that there's so many
and
to choose from. And it's like, I'd rather just make my own 6 or 7
there you go.
than have to go through, and I guess this is sort of a segue into what I've been up to this week, which is working on getting everybody's character in order, and working on backstory creation, and working on setting creation, and yeah, I'm kind of all over the place with this right now. But that being said, it's easier to create your own deities.
Yes.
So long as you give yourself an actual, like, acceptable structure behind making them. Don't just create something that's stupid. You know? So long as you actually have a defined, acceptable parameters for what's acceptable as a deity, it's easier than to sort through all of the other deities.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, that have been created for the when did D&D come out?
5th at D&D Next?
Firth. I mean, Firth. First edition. When did that come out?
In the early 70s.
Early 70s? Hot.
I think it was 76, 78.
So we're going on, what? Almost 50 years worth of D&D.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, my
but I don't want to go through 50 years worth of gods.
My uncle and dad
let alone homebrew crap.
My uncle and dad used to play D&D when they were kids, and I started 2nd edition advanced D&D. May God have mercy on my soul. It was so broken.
You've talked to me about a few aspects of 2nd edition, and I get it.
Yeah.
Just from what little you've talked about.
I drank 2 potions and I exploded, and I was like 7th level.
7th level what?
I was a 7th level monk.
Crap.
So I was just getting to that point where I was busting off like
I'm about to be
8.
such a badass dead. Literally
Yeah.
exploded.
And it's because I drank 2 potions of restoration, and I drank one, and then the other one, and then I had a roll because I drank the other one, and then a guy named Bill that was living with my grandparents at this point that taught me it.
Uh-huh.
By the way, I've been playing it like 3 years at this point.
All the same character?
All the same character.
Oh, that
So
sucks.
I was like 3 years into it. I blew up.
You explode. How did he say it? How did the DM explain? How did the DM? What was his wording?
I actually remember this because it was my first horrifying moment.
I'd imagine you would remember the exact wording.
And don't judge me for my character's name. It was Dolph.
My first character was named Iggy. There's nothing wrong with Dolph.
It was Dolph because I just watched Rocky. Dolph Lundgren was like the awesome thing in my book.
Who's that Rocky?
He was the Russian that Rocky.
Oh yeah, the Terminator guy.
So his name was Dolph Rambo. Not even joking. And he was a monk.
I've named characters
because I wanted my character to be a boxer, like in Rocky.
That makes so much sense.
And Dolph beat Rocky in that one, in the ending I saw. So my character proceeded.
Which ending did you see? What the hell?
There's 2. There's one where Rocky wins and Rocky loses.
Oh, but he still gives the inspirational speech at the end?
Yes.
That's kind of... That's
cool.
Interesting. I never would have called it that was a thing.
The speech is a little different, I believe.
That movie would have...
Again, this was when I was young. I was like 7, 8. But
because there's always the chance you're misremembering. But,
yes.
But even if that were the case, I feel like that would have given the movie a lot more needed gravity.
Okay, so Bill, my DM, yes, the great DM, Bill.
Nice.
The science guy, Bill. I'm sorry.
Hey, I got him to do it. Yay.
I was running to a group of orcs. There was about 3. And I had potions on quick access on my belt. Because in 2nd edition, if your DM was nice, he'd let you drink 1 or 2 to take up your whole turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was down to like 3 hit points. I was almost dead. Like, I shouldn't have ran in, but I did. I was a kid. So I drink 1. And then I tell him I drink the other one. And I should have tipped me off. He said, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I need to. I'm going to die." He was like, "Are you certain?" And he said, "Are you certain?" And I didn't know what that meant when I was 7. So I'm like, "Yeah." So I drink it. He made me roll a d20. He says, "As you gulp the potion..."
The me today would have been like, "Are you just screwing with me?"
Yeah.
You know, like the me today looking at my DM would have been like, "Are you just trying to make me second guess myself for no reason so that I won't drink the potion and die?"
I was just a kid. I was playing Baldur's Gate 2 Shadow of On, so I drank multiple potions in succession in that.
Yeah.
And that runs off
that's
2nd
not
edition.
A thing. I don't think that's a thing. Drinking more than 1 potion's not a thing anymore. Like killing you? That's not a thing.
2nd edition, there was he did a mashup like we did
that's
at
insane.
our game. So I roll a d20, I get like a 17. So I think, oh, I'm good then. He's like, as you gulp the potion, your 2nd potion, you feel your bowels erupt, and a explosion of meat and blue liquid destroys and disintegrates the orcs surrounding you as you fall split in half on the ground. So not only did I explode,
you full on got eviscerated.
I drank it, and it cut me in half by potion and explosion.
Holy crap. You literally got eviscerated by a healing potion.
And I killed the 3 orcs.
Why have I never heard this story before?
Because I don't like talking about my fails. No one likes talking about your fails.
Talk about your fails. Good God, talk about your fails on this show.
And Bill his face went white. And I was just like, "Dolph!"
Oh my God, no!
Not Dolph Rambo! And I was just so depressed. And this was in like 98, 99.
That's a great kind of, a great story.
It broke my heart, and I stopped playing for like 7 years.
You know that I have never lost a character?
It hurts.
I have never lost a character. I've come close. Oh boy, have I come close. I have come so close. But my characters always end up having something worse happen to them than death. Like, we were talking about you think your name was silly. For other nerds listening to the podcast, I named my character, I named my elven warlock Baltar, after the guy from Battlestar Galactica, because he was such a magnificent, manipulative bastard.
I've met Baltar.
But, like, Baltar should have died so many times, because he was in one of the most unforgivable campaigns I've ever been a part of. There was PvP left and right. We had a session that we refer to now as Civil War, where half the party killed the other half of the party.
Why?
Long story. I might have told this story already. If not, it certainly warrants visiting later.
We're gonna have a Civil War episode.
But, like, the worst thing that ever happened to Baltar was he stole a book. He stole a metal book.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
The metal book was essentially the autobiography of a fallen angel named Treyas. And Treyas is the devil. As in, the devil in the tarot card deck. He was an angel who joined a group called the Tarot, who were embodiments of the tarot cards and were purely lawful, like straight up and down the alignment chart lawful entities. Their idea,
he was lawful evil.
Their idea, actually, he was still chaotic evil. But the Tarot's idea of a perfect universe was essentially like crystalline singularity.
That's creepy.
Like even like what you think an artificial intelligence would think perfection is. And Baltar reads his autobiography, and it makes the literal devil's eye go, "Hi there." So now I've got the devil literally talking to me in my head during the game.
Which you don't know yet. You didn't know about that.
I didn't know, but then it certainly warrants... there are several great stories I have for Baltar. One of the most fun characters I ever played as. But seriously, talk about fails on the show.
Okay.
Because you might... I'll make a Gundam reference of... One does not care to acknowledge the mistakes of one's youth.
Oh, God.
But they want to hear it.
Okay.
Because boy, oh boy, do people get entertainment out of our fails.
Okay, then I'll add later in a different episode. I'll tell you when Dolph punched a rock golem's crotch.
Oh God, why?
Yeah, that's a whole new
That's
story.
not. Why would that? No.
I won.
You won. Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
It's magnificent. Okay, so to the next segment.
See, I mean, that's what we've been up to. I've been working on a game I'm gonna run, and DK's been working on the character he's gonna play in it.
Yes, I've been trying very hard to make it to where something I invest in. I've invested in a character since Dolph.
Yeah.
Now you know why. We played from level 1 to 7. Like, we just got to 7th level.
Mm-hmm. It's so
I
hard.
drank 2 potions. I drank 2 freaking potions.
What a weird way to die. You know, you'd think your DM would have been make an Arcana check.
Well, no, because we're
something.
in combat. And it wasn't 2 potions of restoration. It was a potion of healing and a potion of restoration. So if you drink 2 different potions within a certain amount of time, they can react badly. And on the chart that he had, these were really bad.
At least you took people with you, right?
I took the 3 bad guys.
Okay.
And they didn't raise me. I quit after that.
Yeah, that almost makes it worth it. Like, I exploded, but I took 3 guys with me.
And they were strong orcs. They were trained. Okay, but back on the next topic.
As far as what else I've been up to, not much. I finally started, speaking as someone who refused to watch the Fate series for a long time.
Ultimate Blade Works.
And who, when I did finally watch Fate Stay Night, I loved it.
Yep.
And then I watched Fate Zero, and while there were some continuity issues, I still loved the hell out of it. I finally started watching Unlimited Blade Works.
And your mind is blown.
I love this show.
Yeah.
It is competing with me. There are some animes that I just consider on a different tier.
Yep.
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood's one of them.
Like Toradora?
Toradora is more just like a personal favorite because it's more of an obscure anime.
So it's like my Guyver. Guyver's on a whole different tier compared to everybody else.
What I'm specifically referring to is this anime is perfect.
So far.
The voice acting's great. The animation is stellar.
You do dubbed. I'm subbed. That's Civil War right there.
I do dubbed, but the dub for Unlimited Blade Works,
it's good.
While it takes some getting used to the changes of the voice actors, they're all doing a damn good job.
Yep.
And night and day, like we said last time, because this is a bit of a rehash of the short episode we did during the transition, where we also talked about anime. The animation is night and day. It's beautiful. Every episode of that show feels like a movie. And it helps that I'm watching it on Hulu, where you don't have to worry about commercial breaks or the breaks in the episode.
Yep. Because I paid for it.
I'm fascinated
or it's paid Hulu with no commercials, so you can just keep going.
Well, even when you do that, sometimes, like even when you get the DVDs, there's still like breaks where the commercials would
This
be.
one doesn't.
It's not there. So every episode feels like a movie. I'm 8 episodes in. And this might be competing with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood for the spot of the best produced anime I've ever seen. And that's saying something because very rarely does a show get 10s across the board like that. The music for the Fate series has always been spectacular. But the music's great. The animation, like I said, is fucking phenomenal. The voice acting's great. There's a ladybug flying around. Look at
We have ladybugs.
We have a ladybug.
2.
Ladybugs.
Okay then.
Anyway, 10s across the board, which I haven't seen happen since Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yes.
And while Code Geass was spectacular for the first season, I also kind of put that in that tier.
Season 2 was
Season 2 was meh. The animation took a dive. The voice acting took a dive. I can't speak.
Hopefully Season 3 is better.
There is going to be a Season 3, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh my.
2018.
Oh boy. I don't know what to expect from that.
And Lelouch is alive.
That, I called that.
Yeah, you called that way before.
I called that when R2 ended.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's... Do you have anything else to talk about what you've been up to?
No.
I know you've been kind of busy.
I've been working, editing videos, and building my D&D character. And then building my side DM role.
Yeah, you've been busy.
Yeah, I'm balancing like 5 things and then life itself.
All right, then. You know what? I think that the fact that Code Geass Season 3 is coming out is a good segue into nerd news.
There you go.
Which is our next segment, where we're each going to talk about a few moderately current events, and both cover a top story.
Okay.
And I'll just make that my first current event. It's old news, but I still want to talk about it. Like the fact that we are finally confirmed to be getting a Code Geass Season 3. How, frankly, speaking as someone who considers Code Geass in his like, it's one of my favorite shows because of the ending. I don't know how I feel about us getting a sequel.
Well, you know when it ended and I watched it and you watched my reaction to watching the ending, I told you, it was like, I need a Season 3.
Yeah.
I told you, it was like, this has to keep going. And
so many people felt that way. But I'm like, the story comes to a conclusion. I guess the part that really throws me off is the fact that it's a direct sequel to R2, as opposed to being a time jump.
Uh-huh.
It's like, we need a significant time jump because Frankly, there aren't a lot of characters left on the board that I care about.
I could be wrong, but I think this one has a time jump. A significant.
A small time jump.
No,
because
I think
we
it's...
see
No,
we
I
see
think...
Cornelia. We see Suzaku. It's like those... I'm talking like we need to jump past all those people's lives and go to the future.
I watched the trailer. I don't recall seeing them.
I know I saw Cornelia.
You could be completely right.
I saw Cornelia. I'm pretty positive that I also saw Suzaku, but for all I know, I saw a very, very short, like 30-second trailer.
Yeah.
They could have been using stock footage.
Yeah.
If another trailer has dropped, I guess I can look that up later. I'll look that up after the show, but if another trailer has dropped, then all of this may be null and void.
Yes.
But so far as I am aware, Lelouch is alive, and it is an immediate sequel to R2.
Which is... I'm happy with it.
I'm okay with that.
Especially since Nonali now knows that her brother wasn't the sadistic asshole.
Yeah.
And
which, the explanation for that's kind of wonky.
I just took it as the immortal code that he got somehow from him dying,
that's
passed
how it
on
works.
knowledge.
That is how that is supposed to work.
He died, so he lost his Gios and got immortal code.
I'm an adamant fan of Code Geass and an advocate for that theory before it was confirmed.
Yes.
It's pretty obvious what happened. He's not dead. He's immortal now. And that's why the show's called R2. You know, you've got C2, you've got V2. Lelouch becomes R2.
Yep.
At least, as silly as that is, because it's R2. Luke Skywalker goes R2, and Lelouch goes, he does his evil laugh or something. That should be a gif.
Guarantee it is.
Lelouch as R2-D2.
Okay, so I'm gonna segue from that.
Go ahead. What is one of your current events?
My current event is the new banning policy for Fortnite. So far, as of
what is Fortnite?
October 6th, there was thousands of players banned from this game. Fortnite is a zombie game where you build defense matrices and buildings, and you have your own base, and there's a story where a zombie plague appeared out of nowhere, and you're trying to build the shield bigger to cover the town, and you're trying to reinforce the town, and it's just a really great game. They added a new system to it, like a PUBG, not PUBG, but Underground Unknown Battle Royale Battlegrounds, where 100 players drop in and they kill each other until there's only one standing.
Oh my god!
Yes,
Battle Royale.
It is. Well, Fortnite has Battle Royale mode, which is the exact same thing, pretty much, except for you build stuff. You can build stuff. But as of right now, out of the 7 million players, thousands have been banned because they have a absolutely no cheating policy. Now,
how are they cheating?
They're not. Well, they're not even defining what cheating is to them, to the company.
What a dick move!
But they're saying that there will be no cheaters, and if you're caught cheating, you're going to be provided with a life ban.
It's
console ban.
It's not like
your console. If you try to play it, you buy another disc or re-download it through a different account, and you use the same console, you still can't play it.
They have to define the parameters of cheating. It's not.
They tell you why you were caught, but they're not they're not giving definite parameters. They're not getting definite parameters of what they consider cheating.
Yeah, they can. I see what you're talking about. They at first I was like, are you saying that they just banned people and didn't explain why?
No, they're giving a reason why
that's
they were banned.
Okay then. That's all right.
But thousands of people are getting banned for minute things. So they're not giving a.
They're being overly critical.
They're correcting so much that they're wrecking. If this was a vehicle and you needed to correct going left, they turn the wheel all the way.
Yeah, they're gonna lose. They're losing more players than they probably realize by doing this.
Well, Fortnite is a significantly popular game. Actually,
I know, it looks great.
I played a lot myself, so I'll have an update next week. if there's an update to the story, but thousands of people banned by Epic Games.
Cheating will not be tolerated.
Okay, so now your next news story.
Mine's almost, well, I guess I can talk about Discovery. And the fact that
Star Trek
Discovery dropped, and
it's shit.
Yeah, everybody pretty much universally hates it.
Yep.
I have yet to see a positive review. A lot of people are like, oh, it's all action, no sci-fi, none of the science makes any sense. And I'm like, that does not even have precedent. Given the other the Abrams Star Trek movies?
Yeah.
Or at least 2 of them were Abrams, I think. The other one was someone else. Beyond was directed by someone else, and frankly, I think Beyond is great.
Yeah. Agreed.
But the new Star Trek movies weren't
Star Trek. They're more Star Wars.
They were more action oriented. But that being said, they're better than over half of the other Star Trek movies we've gotten. They are legitimately good movies, which we usually are incapable of getting for Star Trek. Even the first Star Trek movie, that was goddamn unbearable to watch. It was so boring. And anyone who's seen Star Trek the motion picture, you understand.
The original, not the new remake version.
Star Trek the motion picture, not Star Trek.
Not the new trilogy.
Not Star Trek 12 or whatever the hell they're trying to call it. But yeah, Discovery dropped, and everyone hates it. Everyone hates it because the characters' actions in it are stupid.
She contradicts herself.
She doesn't even contradict herself. It's just the actions she's taking are retarded.
Well, she's like, we need to take this guy alive to make him seem weak. Then she kills him.
Then she kills him because she killed the cat. Again, I'd like to clarify for the listeners. No, fuck spoilers. I don't care enough about Discovery. If I've been spoiled on Discovery, and that's what I was about to say. Neither of us here at Levels of Ridiculousness have watched Discovery. I have no intention of paying to watch something this awful.
Exactly.
But, like, what does she do? She tries to commit mutiny, right? She tries to commit mutiny.
With the Vulcan neck pinch.
Vulcan neck pinches the captain. And then
the captain re-wakes up like
from sheer
50 seconds later.
From sheer hatred, from sheer racism, essentially. Which is something that Star Trek can't have.
Yeah.
Star Trek is about us being better than that.
It was speciesism, because it's a different species.
It's racism. Alright? It is racism. And Star Trek is about humans. When we go out to the stars, we realize that the universe is so much bigger than our petty bullshit that we become better than that.
Stop being a bitch, bro.
Yeah. No, seriously, stop being an asshole. If you're going to leave your house, you don't get to be a raging lunatic.
Exactly.
You know, you have to adhere to the standards of society. And it's the same when we go out into space. And the fact that this woman is like, blow them up! I don't know what she actually says, but that's essentially what she says.
We have to attack them now.
We have to kill them now. And if she had done that, she would have gotten everyone killed, because then an armada shows up.
The moment where they would have attacked.
The moment the ship would have exploded, an armada shows up. It just... Even in Star Trek Enterprise, we didn't have problems like this. And Star Trek Enterprise was one of the most immature shows that I've ever seen claim to be for adults. We're gonna make it more for adults, more for the adult audience, by having naked shower scenes where they're rubbing lotion all over each other.
Yeah, I'm just
for adults, yo. It's like Star Trek is supposed to be, and I'm letting my nerd rage show a little bit right now. Star Trek is supposed to be so much better. And we're supposed to be so much better in it. And that's why people hate Discovery. That and the fact that the science has no scientific basis.
Yeah, it's not like the original statement.
Even the science, I'm not counting the first one, but even in Into Darkness and beyond, the science has some sort of basis.
Yeah.
Red matter, don't get me started, because red matter is legitimately bullcrap. But the science has to make sense.
Okay.
But the only they have her shoot herself out of a torpedo tube because they needed an action beat in the episode.
Yeah, no, screw it. Pull the cord. Get out.
No, I'm good. I have not seen Discovery. I don't plan to see Discovery. I'm certainly never going to pay.
The money.
I'm never going to pay to see Discovery. Orville's great.
Okay. So
We're both loving Orville, right?
Yes, we are.
What little we have seen of Orville, we're loving Orville.
So
that's more of a Galaxy Quest show than it is a Star Trek show. But yeah, I'm gonna rein in my nerd rage. DK, do you have another current event to talk about?
This past Thursday, in New York Comic Con, the Batman Ninja film trailer was dropped and announced.
I did not believe you when you told me about this.
Yeah, it's an animated movie, and okay, close your eyes.
I believed you when you told me it was an animated
Picture
movie.
this. Batman, decked out in Shogun armor.
Got it.
Batman style. Pulls out a samurai sword.
Got it.
A katana. Sees Joker. Joker looks at him, dressed in fancy clothes.
See it? Well, see it.
Pulls out a katana. They run at each other, fight each other, and someone dies.
Will the no-kill rule?
It doesn't apply in this one. It's back in the Shogun rule.
Oh,
he's basically a samurai. And not only that, Nightwing's going to be in it, and he's a ninja. Batgirl's in it. She is a Kunichi, which is a female ninja, and it's going to be flippin' awesome.
I didn't believe you when you said that this was a thing until you told me it was an animated movie.
Yes.
Then I'm like, yeah, okay. DC has precedent for weird animated films.
And it's Warner Bros., so...
Yeah. Yeah, DC puts out a lot of weird animated movies.
It's going to come out in 2018. No specific date.
Justice League Dark got a movie a while back.
Yes. But it's going to be run by the same person that made Afro Samurai. So, shit's going to get real.
Tell me Batman's going to be voiced by Samuel L. Jackson.
I'm down.
Come on! There's no explanation. It's just Sam Jackson voicing Batman.
I'm completely down with it. Okay, so that's my Batman news.
So the Joker's going to be a samurai?
He's going to be a Ronin.
He's a Ronin?
From what I understand.
Yep, because the no-kill rule can't apply to that.
Nope.
Because the only reason samurai take out their swords
is to kill them.
Is either I'm going to cut you or you're going to kill me.
Yep.
No. That's the only reason they draw a sword. So if Batman is specifically a samurai, it would be interesting to see Batman as a samurai with the no-kill rule.
Like Ronin Kenshin?
Maybe he uses...
Has a sword that has the blade on the back end.
Or he uses a dull katana.
Dull katanas would still cut.
Like a katana...
A blunt.
Yeah, he uses a katana that is, instead of being a blade, it's both sides are the dull side.
Okay. I'd be okay with that.
So it's more of a straight sword. That'd be actually kind of neat. Let's see. What do I have to... All right, my next current event is more of a joke than anything. So, imagine I heard a story online where a guy went to see the last Transformers movie with his wife.
Okay.
Now this guy's a Transformers fan, and they're sitting in the theater. The movie's going. The credits are rolling. The movie's going off, and his wife turns and looks at him, and she says, "So they're not going to make any more of these for a while now, right?" And her husband, without missing a beat, turns and looks at her and says, "Oh no, the Bumblebee spin-off movie's coming out next year." His wife legitimately
God bless her soul.
looks at her husband and says, "You gotta be making that up." And I can understand why some people would feel that way.
I'm not gonna go see it. You're obligated to. You're a Transformers
I'm not
fanatic.
obligated to do anything, but yes, I am a Transformers fanatic. I'm a TF fan. I collect the figures.
A lot of them.
I watch the shows.
A lot of them. Don't get me wrong.
I see the
Good
movies.
shows.
I see the movies. Meh.
I've seen up to 4.
Not because I'm a fan of the franchise. That doesn't mean that I like the movies, and it doesn't mean that I like all of the shows. A lot of the shows are terrible. A lot of the movies are terrible. Some of them are very good. Transformers 1 is great for nostalgia. Transformers 2 is one of the movies that offends me on such a deep personal level that I can't even begin to talk about it. It's worth its own topic discussion for the podcast later. Transformers 3 is okay.
I stopped at 4.
Transformers 4 is great. In my opinion, Transformers 4 is the best.
I stopped there.
Transformers 5 is schlock.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
Transformers 5 is Michael Bay does no longer cares.
He doesn't want anything to do with it.
What little fucks Michael Bay gave about Transformers were gone by Transformers 5.
He's tried to stop Transformers for a while now. He's like the Hideo Kojima of Transformers.
He can't get away.
He keeps trying to stop Metal Gear, but Metal Gear kept coming.
At least Hideo Kojima likes Metal Gear.
Yes.
Michael Bay gives no fucks about Transformers whatsoever.
Since Metal Gear Solid 2, he's been saying, this is the last one. Then the 3 came out. Then 4. Then 5.
You recognize that that's a marketing tactic, right?
Yes.
People are like, wow, this massively successful movie. But, like, the director's not going to do any more of them, so I have to go see it because it's his last one.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no, fuck that. That stopped working for Transformers. It still made plenty of money, just not quite as much as they were hoping it would. It was still a goddamn blockbuster, but it didn't make as much as it should have. It still broke banks.
Yeah.
But so my actual current event is actually a casting choice that has been made for the Transformers Cinematic Universe. That's what they're calling it. Guess who they ripped that off from? The Transformers Cinematic Universe Bumblebee movie.
Okay.
That casting choice is John Cena! Bum-ba-dum-bum!
Stop.
Bum-ba-dum-bum! John Cena's going to be in the Bumblebee movie.
I quit life.
It is, and it doesn't have precedent. You know, this stuff happens in Transformers movies.
No.
You get people like this.
No.
But that being said,
No.
it is certainly an unexpected John Cena joke. It's like, really?
You
John
can't
Cena's
see
gonna be
me,
in
and I don't want to see him.
It's like, John Cena, really? In Transformers?
John Cena was great in The Marine. I don't see why he should be in Bumblebee movie.
In the Transformers Bumblebee movie, it's going to, I think it's taking place in the past.
It doesn't matter.
He's going to be playing a soldier from Sector 7, which is something that went away after the first movie. Sector 7 was the organization who found the Allspark and kept Megatron frozen.
Yes.
For all of those years. That was disbanded at the end of the first movie, and then they created Nest in the second movie.
Yes,
I'm showing a little bit of my nerd right now. That being said, he's going to be one of the officers for Sector 7. And you know, Transformers during World War II could be fun. Because we got a little bit...
You didn't necessarily just say that.
I forgot that you haven't seen Transformers 5. There's an entire segment in Transformers 5 dedicated to showing you Bumblebee during World War II.
I quit life and my next life. Screw this.
I mean,
It's a money grab.
Tell me you wouldn't want to see Wolfenstein with Transformers in it.
Wolfenstein's different. He's a badass.
Is Wolfenstein a character? Is that a thing?
Wolfenstein.
I haven't played Wolfenstein.
Yes, it's the same SOB, and he's the most American fucking badass ever. His literal job of how he became a hero and the hero, like Doom Guy, is that he kills Nazis. Super Nazis, mutant Nazis, and Mecha Hitler. You can't get more American, boy! And we need this game more than ever now.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Captain America is one of my all-time favorite heroes, and what is his origin story? He punched Hitler in the face.
Yes. And Wolfenstein guy punched Mecha Hitler in the face.
And Mecha Hitler had
and killed him.
Hands, right?
Yes, Gatling guns.
He has Gatling guns for hands.
He's Super Captain America.
So yeah, not that anyone really cares, but consider that a double feature.
He might as well be just this guy running in with a minigun that every time a bullet leaves the chamber, it just goes, America. America. And you just hear America. Like, America. Like,
fuck yeah!
And the
keep
explosion from the minigun is the red, white, and blue, making the flag.
To be fair,
he's this fucking awesome.
To be fair, you can't get much more America fuck yeah than Michael Bay. You can't.
No.
You really can't.
The Wolfenstein guy became crippled and put on a suit and kicked Nazis around with his crippled legs. One up me, boy!
Why have I not played these games?
We can.
For those who care, the only experience that I have with Wolfenstein is programming it at summer camp. Like, I coded Wolfenstein
training
at a summer camp one time because I was taking a
course.
That was very interesting, it was fun.
Okay.
But I don't actually know anything about Wolfenstein.
We're going to do a crash course on this then.
To bring things back on topic, you can consider that a double feature in that, yes, listeners, we're getting another Transformers movie. It's going to be all about Bumblebee and featuring John Cena.
Ba, 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 ba.
He says that, but he can see the heartbroken look on my face of, I really like this franchise.
My heart would be broken if it wasn't a black abyss hole now at this point.
I like this franchise. I just wish it could be great because Michael Bay's not directing it. I look forward to somebody else getting their hands on this franchise. Please, for the love of God, somebody else, please, direct a Transformers movie. I believe there's also news that we're going to have an animated theatrical Transformers movie, which could be great because the Transformers comic books, the current ones by IDW, have some of the best storytelling I've ever seen in comics. It's not like the stories aren't there to tell. Just tell them. It's like a lot of the problems that people have with superhero movies. Just tell the story the way it's supposed to be. Stop making Johnny Storm black and have them be adopted siblings. Have Dr. Doom be Dr. Doom!
Yep.
Instead of some weird castaway who just murders everybody because he feels
murdery.
Weird. He has PTSD, essentially, from coming back. It's like, just tell the story the way it is, like the other Marvel movies have been doing it. That's why Marvel's so successful.
It's Fox. It's Fox. Come on.
Was Fan 4 Stick Fox?
Yes. They made Fan 4 Stick so they didn't lose the copyright to it. They're literally making these movies just so they don't lose the copyright.
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly aware that
and that's why they're doing the X-Men movies too. They don't want to give that back to Marvel, even though Marvel would do 1,000 times better.
Marvel has stopped promoting the X-Men in any way.
Yep.
Like, the X-Men
was a thing for a long time.
Well, they were pushing the X-Men down our throats so hard for so many years. It's like, here, have Avengers versus X-Men. You know how we have these Avengers movies? Maybe if we Put the X-Men next to the Avengers. We can get someone to care and buy the comic books.
And now they're stopping the comic books.
They're all dead.
Yep.
They killed them all. Marvel killed all of the X-Men. They took them. You know how there's that poster that has all the Marvel characters on it?
Yep.
They're not in the poster anymore.
Yep.
Marvel released a new poster, and none of the X-Men are in it. Wolverine's dead. Wolverine's dead and has been for a few years.
It's because they want the X-Men back, and Fox won't give them back. So they're gonna stop giving them free publicity.
That's exactly what it is, and I'm for that. As much as I liked Logan, as much as I like Deadpool, as much as I like Days of Future Past, I want Marvel to have the X-Men rights back.
And do it right.
Because Marvel's whole thing is, it's a universe. They're all interactive. They need to all exist in the same timeline. And some people make the argument that that's not possible.
It is.
It's certainly possible.
Okay, let's reel in our nerd cred.
And we're reeling in. What's your last current events topic?
Okay, so George R. R. Martin is now having another show come out called Night Flyers.
Oh, God.
It's a 1981 novella.
Yeah.
His 1981 novella.
1981. Of course, I don't know when Song of Ice and Fire actually came out.
It's a sci-fi series. It is a TV series. Essentially, think starships where zombie cyborgs...
oh my God.
Recreational warfare and very young primitive aliens are around. And a bunch of bad experiments in deep, 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 deep space. It's going to be a terrifying space thriller. And
it's a horror thing?
It's not a horror thing, but it's going to have some dark moments. Like,
I'm down. You had me at zombie cyborgs.
It's a spaceship Game of Thrones, essentially.
Well, just because it's by George R. R. Martin doesn't mean it's like Game of Thrones.
I read up on it a little bit.
Do we know what
it has a lot of Game of Thrones-esque feel to it.
What year did the first book come out? Song of Ice and Fire?
I absolutely do not know.
I'm kind of like, well, George R. R. Martin, Game of Thrones is ending, and that was so successful, so let's get something else that George R. R. Martin is attached to and make a show out of that, too. Doesn't necessarily mean it's good. It just means that it's associated with George R. R. Martin. And that kind of annoys me, but what you just described sounds kind of fun.
Let's picture it this way.
Game of Thrones in space.
Okay.
I don't expect it to be that.
This is how it's described in most places. It's just like Game of Thrones. You just swap the electronic zombies for the icy variety, right?
The lights.
The recreational war for the War of the Five Kings, and the primitive aliens for the White Walkers.
Okay.
It's essentially Game of Thrones in space.
I love Game of Thrones. For someone who's only seen the show, through once, I love the heck out of me some Game of Thrones. I could get behind a sci-fi Game of Thrones show.
And especially since next season is the last season.
Yeah, that's why they're doing this.
So they're bringing that out, and it's going to be a...
That's what bothers me. That's what bothers me and puts me off about this is, oh, hey, we're going to do another George R. R. Martin thing, which is essentially Game of Thrones. It's like, even the wording, what you just said, the way you described that, even that wording sounds like, oh, we're pushing something else that George R. R. Martin did that's just like Game of Thrones because we want to make some money. That's what it feels like.
Yes, but I'm still thrilled as all hell just to...
Yeah, that being said, even my hesitations are like, that sounds kind of awesome, but I'm still going to stay on the fence until I see it.
Okay, so do you happen to have one last minor story before we get into the big ones?
I think that's all of my current events. We can...
Get into your big one, then.
We can go ahead and hop into top stories.
Top stories. Welcome to Top Stories.
Would you like to go first?
Ozpin. Your host, DK.
This is DK.
Signing on.
This is DK.
Donkey Kong. So my big story is that we are now having a Overwatch team in Dallas, my home place.
Is this the
It's
Dallas Cowboy?
The Dallas Fuel. It's not Dallas Cowboys.
They're blue.
Okay.
They look like cowboy skins.
Dallas's colors are blue.
Yeah, I know. Well,
the Dallas Fuel. They're an Overwatch team to play in the online and competitive play. And what's really cool is that they're going to be in the teams going against other people from like esports.
Oh, I thought it was just skins. It's like a full-on competitors league.
It's a competitors league.
Awesome.
They have the most well-known player. He's 24. He goes by Siegel, but his name's Brandon Learned, and he's going to be on the team. And it's basically just people from Texas, and they're called the Boys in Blue.
We both live in Texas, by the way. So this is.
I live in Dallas.
Specifically,
yes,
Dallas County. So we're both massively interested in this. This is great news. And
I'm just so excited about the Dallas Fuel because we're finally going to have some Dallas players in esports.
Right. This isn't specifically Overwatch, is it?
It's Overwatch.
So it's just competitive Overwatch playing?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm down. If there's any game that deserves it as Overwatch, I just wish that they'd expand.
Well, what there's Dota in esports, there's League of Legends, there's a whole hostess of games. And I'm just happy about this because esports is finally getting recognized as a sport, as it should be.
Yeah.
And
you can be more competitive with that than you can with some physical sports.
Yes, and just because you don't have to be physical in the essence, I'm going to hit you, doesn't mean it's not a sport. And now people are even seeing that, and people are realizing nerds are taking over.
Welcome to nerddom, folks. Yeah, we're about to rule the world.
Well, I did start a kingdom. 7 people in the kingdom, but it's still 7.
Hail to the king, baby.
Okay, so that's essentially my big story. That's
pretty cool. Are they doing custom skins? Is Overwatch doing custom skins, or was that just a special picture that I saw?
I hope so. It didn't say, but I hope. I
think I saw a picture of Genji in blue.
Yes, Genji in blue and silver.
Yeah,
they need to.
That would be really cool if Overwatch is like, we'll make you some custom skins.
You have a 6-person team.
Wizards.
We'll go Blizzard.
Blizzard. Damn it.
Blizzard's cool enough to, especially Overwatch. The people that make Overwatch would be like, you're playing a team, so we'll give you these skins to play to represent your team.
Yeah.
Like jerseys.
It costs money to make skins, but it doesn't cost much.
And they're making millions and millions off of just
Overwatch is so popular.
Oh yeah. Now it's your story.
Is that yours? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is that we finally had a Pacific Rim Uprising trailer drop, and I was getting some pretty massively heavy Gundam vibes from it. Like, holy crap.
I lost my shit.
They look a little smaller. It could just be me, or it could just be that the animation was better. Or maybe they were moving faster than like Gypsy was. That's probably exactly what it was. They were moving faster.
They're 5th generation, essentially. Or 6th generation at this point.
I forget. I think Gypsy was 4th. Striker Eureka.
3rd.
Striker Eureka was 5th.
Yes, and Gypsy Danger was 3rd.
Was Gypsy
converted
Danger
into 4th?
I feel like it was 4th.
There was Gypsy and then Gypsy Danger.
I didn't see.
It was upgraded. Gypsy Danger. No, that was the one that's in most of the movie. The one where he
there's some expanded universe lore for Pacific Rim.
When he's in the cockpit and his brother dies, that's just Gypsy. When it's remade and improved, that's Gypsy Danger, 4th generation.
Are you sure?
Yes, that I'm pretty certain.
Okay, it has been a little while since I've seen the movie, but that being said, it is one of my favorite things that finally. It's like we needed something like Transformers with pilots. Like, if they're not going to give the Transformers the character and personality that they deserve in the movies, and they're going to make the human characters bumbling, crazy idiots, then can we get a movie directed by someone else?
Exactly.
Where the robots are being piloted by people who are real, interesting characters? And the answer is yes, we got Pacific Rim. And while Pacific Rim was full of a lot of stereotypes, it was still great and different. That being said, I refused to believe that they were making another Pacific Rim movie until I saw the trailer.
And then you saw it.
And then I saw the trailer. And it looks great. It's got Finn from Star Wars
Episode 7.
Episode 7.
God, I wish I knew his name.
It takes place
a little bit after.
It takes place 10 years after the first movie, which is good. You know? And is going to feature, most importantly, I think it's going to have 5 new Jaegers in it.
Yes, that we saw them in the trailer. They all move really quickly now and have abilities, and the teamwork looks like it's more put together.
Yeah, the Jaegers are no longer coded by country. They are all
one nation,
a force.
Yes,
the Jaegers are a fighting force, no longer divided by borders,
which is awesome.
Which is great.
So
because
it is really, Gundams. It's 5 Gundams.
Yes,
it's the 5 Gundams.
It's giving you the Gundam team vibe that a lot of the Gundam series have had since Wing and G Gundam.
Which Wing's my favorite?
The Wing is great. I still haven't finished G Gundam, believe it or not.
I don't like G Gundam too much. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike it, I just don't like it too much.
Yeah, the new Gypsy is called the Gypsy Avenger.
Sweet.
Based off the legendary Jaeger from the first movie.
Well, come on. It's awesome.
There's going to be one called Bracer Phoenix.
Oh my god! Please tell me that's a fire aesthetic to it.
It runs off brute force and is piloted by 3 pilots. The third pilot can drop into the chest and operate giant guns called vortex cannons.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This needs to be a thing now.
The third is Saber Athena. It's experimental. It's described as swift with plasma swords.
Dual wielding.
The fourth is Titan Redeemer.
Automatically think Attack on Titan.
Which has a weapon attached to its arm called the Ball of Death.
Oh, it's the one that has the ball and chain. With the spikes.
Yeah. And then the last one is Guardian Bravo, another brute force Jaeger that has a Raphine Arc Whip. It's a whip.
It's a electric whip.
That's so cool.
It's a plasma whip.
It's okay if I geek out over... I love this. I love that this is a real thing. I love that this is happening.
And it's going to be great. I guarantee you.
This made my month.
I hope the Black Pearls play the soundtrack again.
We have both scientists returning from the first movie.
Yes, which is awesome. One of them was the absolute pricking Game of Thrones, but I'm glad he's going to be back in this one.
One of them was a monster in Game of Thrones. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That guy...
It's an actor, so...
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He goes from playing that monster into playing kind of a nerdy guy who can barely talk.
Back to the nerdy guy.
You know, yeah, he's great. But I don't think we have any returning cast outside of them.
Yeah, the main guy in the first one, I forget his name, he declined coming back to this one. She may come back, I don't know. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand the actor being like, I'd rather not. Okay. But it's disappointing that he can't be there in some sort of leadership capacity. Maybe we'll get the dad back, the pilot of Striker Eureka.
Yeah, maybe.
And who got hurt. That guy's not played by the same guy that played Jorah, was he?
I don't remember.
He's giving me, when I'm thinking back to him, he's giving me Jorah from Game of Thrones vibes.
No, it's not him.
don't think that's the
Guarantee
same guy.
it's not him.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a weird thing that I was thinking.
Now we'll move on to the gushy main topic of this podcast that we've monologued to.
That was nerd news.
Yep. Now we're
Those
down.
are our top stories. We actually had some listener questions.
Okay, listeners' questions.
Not real listener questions. We don't exactly have a plentiful number of subscribers.
They're
just
from
yet.
our friends.
We sat down with some of our friends and we asked them to give us some ideas for quotation marks listener questions.
Please feel free to submit your own.
Please do in the comments.
Personal direct message me and Ozpin's channel if you don't want everybody else to see it.
Yeah. But certainly we had our friends basically come up with some ideas for questions for us.
And we picked one this time.
Yeah, the one that we have picked out first of all goes very well with the friendly anime recommendations topic that we will be getting to immediately after the listener questions section. Top 3 anime characters. And we're doing this on the fly. I think DK has his picked out.
Top 3 of your favorite, not just the top 3.
Yeah, your top
Personal
3 favorite anime characters.
And I've always had these 3 picked out. So I'll go first.
You do it in your head. Like, I do it in my head too, but it's like, this is a hard question for me.
I had this answered because I've been asked this question many times. The first one is Sho Fukamachi from Guyver.
Guyver!
Please. Now, and not just from the show, but from the manga too. Because he grows some man testicles later on. And he, at the end of Guyver 2, there's the Guyver suit he has, and then there's the gigantic version where it's like 10 times the size.
The mech one.
It's the suit that goes on top of his suit.
Yeah.
That makes him...
The Hulkbuster Guyver suit.
Well, Guyver 3...
Oh my god.
Guyver 3 eventually gets that, his own version of it, but you can't have both of them out because it's the same unit. Well, Guyver 3 basically treated Sho like a bitch and would not let him use it, and he would use it. And, like, when Guyver 1, Sho was using it, Murakami would be like, I need it more. And they'd be across the world, and he would just take it, like, deactivate. Well, Guyver 1 gets so pissed and so determined, like, this needs to be done now. And he basically, in his head, he's like, you are mine. You will answer to me.
Calls it to him.
And he basically says, you're my bitch. Now listen to me. And the suit drops off of Mikishima, not Murakami, Mikishima's. Drops him out of it and comes to Sho. Like, yes, daddy.
That's great.
And Mikishima is like, what the fuck? And he tries to call it back like a dozen times in a row. And the suit's just like, nah, brah, dad called. So the moment when he does that, and there was a crucial moment to save the woman he loved. It was to prevent the city from getting crushed. And Sho just, like, nuts up or shuts up. And he just nuts full up. He's like, you will come to me! And he does it assertive and just with such power that it gave me goosebumps. And you get that well-up feeling like, this is awesome!
That's like the scene where 2 people are trying to get the dog to come to them.
Yes.
It's like 2 people are calling the dog to see who it comes to.
And then one's just like, you will come to me.
But
and it's just so terrified it will.
It's a giant biological robot suit that you wear.
It's a supercomputer.
That's great.
It's a biological supercomputer. And it just like, yes, daddy. And it comes to him. And then he gains powers above what he had because the suit's fully dominated by him now.
That suit's got to have some sort of
He grows to 50 feet tall. Yes, it has its own control medal.
It's got to have something associated with who needs it the most. I'm assuming.
No. Sho.
Does it have an AI?
Fused with it has a the control medal on every Guyver unit's head.
Uh-huh.
Well, the control medal from the gigantic Guyver suit is from the ship that blew up, the relic ship.
Right.
At Mount Murakami. And that's where I was thinking Murakami. No, I'm Mount Fuji or something like that. And Murakami's like,
Fuji makes sense.
yeah, it's Mount Fuji or something like that. And it got blown up in episode 17, 18. And Sho goes into this catalyst and merges with it. And so basically the control metal syncs up with his Guyver control metal, and it converts the ship, the super intelligent, never, like, there is nothing smarter on the planet.
It's like Jor-El in Man of Steel.
Yes.
Holy crap.
and it's just a supercomputer. But when he like demands its obedience and it comes to him, he now grows like 50 feet tall. He just unlocks all these abilities because he's just like, you will do what I say. And he goes from the beginning of the show to this wimpy guy to this like, you don't mess with him, boy. It's like, if you messed with him, you done fucked up.
It's honestly, you're giving me kind of the vibe where in the new Spider-Man movie, Homecoming, where he hacks the suit.
It's so much more than that, though.
He has abilities that he can't even begin to comprehend yet.
Yes, it's like that, but so much more.
Taser web, boom.
Okay, so my second one is my first one's Sho Fukamachi.
Show.
The second one is Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Fair.
I like he was a delinquent punk, good for nothing. That after dying and coming back, he becomes a good guy, gets morals, and he becomes powerful. And then you find out later he's a half demon, like his dad. His great ancestor was like the prime millennium. He's the demon. Like, he's the one you just do not mess with. And through transient DNA progression, he awakens when he had a strong enough spirit power. And so he becomes a demon. And it's just the story arc. And it's a happy love ending at the end. Episode 112. He ends up with...
Good God, 112.
Oh, yeah. I have all of them. And then my number 3 guy...
I've seen the first chunk of Yu Yu Hakusho, where he's dead.
Yeah.
And he's running around with the girl on the broom.
Bhutan.
Yes. It's great. The dub is great, and I love... What's his name?
I can't watch it in sub. It has to be dubbed.
What's his name?
The one with the horn?
No, he's got hair.
Oh, Kuwabara.
Kuwabara, I love that guy.
Yeah. He becomes a badass later, actually.
Aikichi! I don't remember the names. I don't remember the names of the characters, but I remember the name of the cat.
Ikichi's the cat.
Ikichi!
Okay, but so that's my number 2. My third one is Kusari Godo from Champione. And the reason why it is...
Is that the main character from Champione?
Yes. Kusari Godo.
I've seen that all the way
through. Reason why, not because he has all these girls that he ends up with, but because he's a pacifist that absolutely loves to fight. He's an enigma. He is a pacifist that slays a god and has fun with it, gains his abilities, and then goes upon slaying more gods, and saying he's a pacifist through the whole time.
Did he say he was a pacifist,
yes.
Or was he just like, I don't want to fight you?
He was a pacifist.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't recall it very clearly, but it's like, yeah.
It's a hero's call I haven't seen before.
I remember him being like, on multiple occasions, being like, I don't want to fight you. There is no point to this.
He's a pacifist completely.
Yeah, but
he loves fighting.
He still gets it done. Yep. I can dig that.
And those are my 3. So it's your turn.
So those are your top 3?
Yes. Sho's my first one. Kusari Godo is my third one, and Yusuke Urameshi is my second. Favorites.
Cool.
So Sho is my favorite of favorite.
Yeah, I don't think mine are going to be in any particular order. Like I have 3 here listed. They certainly aren't my only favorites. I certainly have other favorites that I like just as much, if not more than them, for different reasons. But in keeping it in line with the character... Oh, excuse me. In keeping it in line with the characters that you selected, kind of in that same vein, ironically, the first character I'm going to mention doesn't keep with that vein at all. And that is Ryuji Takasu from Toradora. That guy is essentially... that guy
Clean freak.
Yeah, he is OCD like crazy. He loves to cook. People think he's scary because of the way he looks, when actually he is literally a teddy bear when he dresses like Santa Pedo Bear later in the show.
His RBF, resting bitch face.
Yeah, well,
I have RBF.
His dad was a Yakuza.
Oh, wow.
So his dad was this thug, but Ryuji's just this... Like, I love him so much. He is me. It is why I identify with him so much, because, you know, a lot of people have that problem. I was judged a lot in high school for the way I looked. Ryuji embodies that. When in actuality, I'm just the nicest guy. Like, you can see me, I'm a big guy, I've got a beard, you know, you can see me, you could think, well, he's intimidating.
He's hippie Santa Claus, ain't he?
I'm 6'3" barefoot.
Yeah.
I'm a big guy with a beard, 6'3" barefoot.
I'm 6'2" barefoot.
It's easy to look at someone like that and be like, you scare me. So I identify with that so much, and especially from high school. But the fact that he's this OCD clean freak who frankly, when his friends don't have things neat, and he goes over to their house, he's like...
It bugs him.
Yes, not just that. He's like... Within the first couple of episodes of Toradora, he goes over to Taiga's house, and he sees that the place is a disaster area. So what does he do? He rolls up his sleeves and gets to work. And when she gets up, like an hour later, he has the entire house spotless. And it's not even so much because he's OCD, but the fact that it's like, he cares about other people.
Yeah.
You know? And he doesn't, well, if he thinks, that bothers me so much, when my house is that dirty, I'm going to clean my friend's house.
Yeah.
Because even if it doesn't bother them as much, I don't want them to be unhappy in this type of situation.
Exactly.
And there's the whole, like, subtle thing of her home was so dirty that she had a cold. Yeah. And then he cleaned the house so she stops sneezing.
Yeah.
I love that. To clarify some things for the listeners, Toradora is probably my absolute favorite anime. There's not a lot that competes with it.
Yes.
Code Geass competes with it, but only because of the ending and the sheer epicness of it that we frankly haven't seen a lot of since.
Yeah.
Things on such a grand scale kind of dropped off the wayside for a while. We didn't get truly epic animes for a long time.
We're getting them back now, though.
We are getting them back. One of which was we got the new Iron-Blooded Orphans Gundam series. And that's finally something new.
The ending's so heart-wrenching. Oh, season 2, bro. Oh, it hurts.
I haven't seen it yet.
The feels,
I'm the Gundam guy, and I haven't seen it yet.
And I loved the art and I bought models at Acon because I loved this so much.
Yeah.
And the ending of season 2, just the heart problems, bro.
I love the Barbatos design.
Barbatos?
It looks great.
Oh, yeah.
And there are other machines with lances that I'm like, those look so cool, but I just have not had the time. And frankly, I've been prioritizing Unlimited Blade Works.
Okay,
as of the last week. But
to reel it back in,
Ryuji Takasu.
What's number 2?
Who I identify with so much, and is the main character, the main male character of probably my favorite anime period. He's such a caring guy when he looks so scary. And I love that. I can say it as many times as I want. I identify with that so hard. But my number 2 is probably... Let's see. I'm gonna go with Vash the Stampede for the purposes of this list.
The $60 double man.
Yeah, the $60 million double dollar man. Because Vash, each of these 3 characters kind of represent an aspect of myself. Because Vash he portrays himself as this bubbling idiot. When in actuality, he is one of the most tortured souls you will ever encounter. I will never forget the scene where Vash is about to... He's about to... How do I word this in a family-friendly way? He's about to sleep with 3 women. He's about to sleep with 3 women after he saves a town. And he pretends to have passed out from being drunk because he was so shy about his body and the scars that he has. He is being held together in places by metal braces.
Yep.
Because
of all the crap he's gone through.
Because of all of...
Try not to kill anyone.
Yeah. He refuses to kill after all of the pain that he's been put through by humans. He refuses to hurt people. He refuses to become mean-spirited. He refuses to, frankly, hurt people on any level. And that's in spite of all of his pain.
Yep.
But
one of his arms is quite literally a mechanical arm.
His arm is gone. His arm is gone. It's a robot arm, which I didn't catch on to until they showed it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. And that scene where he pretends to fall asleep and then opens his eyes, and you see how, for that moment, you see how much this weighs on him sometimes. You see the pain in his eyes just for a brief moment. Of course, you get more of that later, but it's so respectable, you know? And I love Vash for that, because no matter what, he's still love and peace!
Love and peace!
Despite all of the pain,
peace.
Despite all of the vindication that people have given him, he is
love and peace.
Still that guy. And that's hard to hold on to.
Okay, so what's your number 3?
What's my last one? Let's go with... I'm going to go, because I'm trying to keep it in the vein of sort of action heroes. It was tied between Vash and Claire Stanfield / the Rail Tracer from Baccano.
Oh my god.
And I decided, it's like,
wait.
I'm going to go with the guy that I've liked longer and who's a nice guy versus the psychopath serial killer.
Doesn't he, covered in blood, ask someone to marry him?
Yeah.
I love this man.
I love the hell out of... consider Claire Stanfield my honorable mention. I love that guy so much. This is a pure love fest on my part. I apologize. But my actual number 3 is, strangely topical, Archer from Fate's Day Night. He is... First of all, his powers are badass. I'm not going to spoil aspects of who he is, just in case anyone... Because I was spoiled on Unlimited Blade Works and who he actually is. Because his identity is a mystery for a long time.
He was the dog the whole time.
He was the dog! Oh my god! But, yeah, I'm not going to spoil who he is, and I'm saying this so that DK also does not spoil it. But his powers are magnificent.
Magnificent?
Magnificent. His powers are magnificently awesome. He can summon swords from thin air. He can summon swords from thin air, transform them into arrows and shoot them with a bow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh.
He's the archer class.
A real archer shoots swords instead of arrows. I love that. And he can create a pocket dimension
Full of weapons.
made of swords where you can't win unless you're cheating. Which frankly some people did cheat.
And still lost.
Yeah, well,
Your
he
take on it.
He almost took out Hercules.
Hercules. Okay,
yeah.
so those are your three.
Yes, I love Archer because his powers are awesome, but I love him more because his motivations, and I can't spoil his motivations on here. But suffice to say, go watch the Fate series because god damn, the Fate series is good. And Unlimited Blade Works in particular has amazing animation, but the character dynamic between Archer and the main character of the show is so fascinating. It is definitely worth a view. And those are my three, I feel. I may not have done the best, even though trying, I may have not have done the best explaining why, but
it's all good.
You always have a disconnect in the love fests.
Not everybody can like everything.
Mm-hmm. So now we are going to
go to the segment of the main mushy point.
Yeah. We're going to move on to our topic discussion, which is friendly anime recommendations. And I'm going to let DK go first. Now, these are animes that we haven't seen.
One has, but the other hasn't.
Yes. DK is going to recommend an anime to me and do his best to describe it to me and you, the listeners. And I'm going to do the exact same to him. So,
my anime that I'm recommending to you, Ozpin, is In Another World with My Smartphone.
Okay, I've never heard of this.
Okay, so the premise. By the way, this came out. The original run was July 2017 to September 26. September 26,
also,
2017.
This just ended.
Yes. The manga.
Complete ending? It has a complete ending?
No, the manga's still running.
Oh, Lord.
But it has a good ending. You feel complete.
Okay.
It's not one of those ones where it just ends. You feel satisfied.
I'll trust you because the animes
I've never steered you wrong.
The animes that just end, I can't take them anymore.
No, it's a satisfying end of an arc. Okay, so I'm gonna butcher his first name. I don't know his last name.
It's okay.
But he's just some 15-year-old Japanese boy named Toya. Touya. Toya.
Toya sounds right.
And he's walking down a street, and God accidentally drops holy thunder on him. Holy lightning.
Okay, hold up.
Like God in heaven.
Hold up.
Trips and drops holy lightning.
This isn't going to make sense to me until I say it out loud. God.
Yes.
Accidentally, quotation marks, drops holy lightning.
Yes.
On this guy.
Yes.
And sends him to another reality.
Before he sends him to another reality, God, when he dies, he goes to heaven, and God is like, yo, bro.
Oh, he dies, okay.
Yes, he dies. He's like, my bad.
What a chill God.
He's very stern about it. He apologizes, bows, says that it was a mistake completely on his point, that he wants to give him the gift of reincarnation, being reborn into another world. Obviously, he can't bring him back into the other one because it's time.
Because he's God and he doesn't have that power.
No, because he's already declared dead and his family's already... it's been past that point.
Magic!
And Toya's like, quite literally just like, yeah, okay. Like he's like, yeah, I'm okay with it.
No biggie. So you've got video games here in heaven, right?
So God's like, well, I'm going to give you this body so you won't die so easily next time. So basically, he gives him the super body that won't die from like holy lightning accidentally falling on him again. So
God makes him Captain America.
God makes him to where he's not weak in any subject towards magic. Like if you had to have a certain affinity towards certain magics, he has affinity to all magics, which is unheard of.
So he has a natural.
He has a natural 20 intelligence,
but he also has a permanent natural affinity toward all magic.
No, elements.
Elemental magic or just elements?
In this world, you have to have aptitude to an element to use that element, or you can't use it. He can use all of them.
Okay.
And even void magic, which is basically magic that has no affinity. And he can...
because I am going to watch this, and
Yes.
I'm hopefully going to sit down and watch canon with you.
Okay.
We're going to try and avoid spoilers because these recommendations are also for the listeners.
Yes.
But we are going to set up the general premise. So expect spoilers for the first few episodes at the very least.
So God asked, hey, is there anything I can accommodate you for because of all this? He's like, yeah, can I just use this? And holds up his smartphone. So he goes to this world. He's explained it's powered by his mana, so he doesn't have to worry about the battery going out. And it can still connect to his other world internet.
Oh, that's cool!
So he has a cell phone that runs off of mana that connects to the internet.
He has a magic cell phone!
So middle age level technology, he has a smartphone, and the first thing he teaches a woman to make is ice cream.
Oh God, what if he drops it? That's where my mind goes immediately.
He casts protection on his phone.
He casts protection. He puts a magic phone case on his phone. That's spectacular. I can't even afford a phone case in real life. This dude casts a spell on it. God dang it. That's fascinating.
So he automatically comes to this new world, and he can he finds new allies. He gets taught how to read.
So this is Middle Ages.
Well, it's that fantasy world setting to where you don't have guns and stuff.
Is this an alternate reality, or is it?
It's a different world.
Okay, so it's not Earth.
No, he put them on a different
planet. Go God.
A different realm.
See, I'm telling you, man. God created some cooler worlds out there somewhere.
Yeah, I should have been a part of it. But it's just a really cool one because it's this story. It's a unique take where instead of him coming to a new world and he's overpowered, he brings a phone. And by the way, in this, he does get a bunch of fiancés.
Oh Lord, like non-monogamy or
monogamy, not, and it becomes a political thing too, though. Like how
so he's promised
royalty
to a lot of
has.
women.
No, he's not promised. He comes across women that fall in love with him, and he falls in love with them.
Harems.
It's a harem essentially, but he's common and all the girls that like him are royalty, so it's allowed.
I mean, my recommendation is also a harem anime, so I'm not judging. I like romance. How ecchi is this?
It's not ecchi at all, really.
Okay, not ecchi at all, really?
It has a beach scene, but he has like 6-7 fiancés. Actually, more than that. Actually, I think he has 8 or he has like 8. By the end,
the magical premise sounds awesome. The romance aspect of this is starting to sound terrible.
But no, it's meaningful. Like each one, you can understand the connection.
Okay,
because it's through travel. It's through him saving someone and them getting to know each other over a long period of time.
I can get behind that. What are the... I'm sure a lot of listeners would be wondering the same thing. What are the circumstances? How is this allowable? What is the justification for him having 8 fiancés by the end of the show?
Legally, he can because by that point he's royalty.
Okay, what about moral?
Best I could. It's not looked down upon.
Okay.
The king has like half a dozen concubines and then a couple wives.
Oh Lord.
It's real life royalty back in the Middle Ages. There was no limit. It's like Genghis Khan. He had like 50 concubines and then like 12 wives. It's royalty.
Yeah.
But it's not pervy. It's not run off that. It's run off very love. It's not itchy. Like you're not gonna see.
Champione had elements of that in it too.
It's less itchy than Champione.
Champione is a lot more itchy.
Yes.
But Champione had the concept of multiple, not wives, but multiple like promises.
They were his fiancés.
There's a very odd. What were they called? They're his vassals.
Vessels. Knights.
There's a word for it. I'm not remembering it, but I don't want to waste time on
it. But it's nice.
There's an element of that in the Wheel of Time series, but they spend 15 books justifying it. So and he only has 3 as opposed to 8. But yeah. Tell me more about the magic system. And the story. Essentially,
you use keywords to invoke magic.
The last thing you recommended to me was, oh no, we went to see the movie.
Irregulars at Magic High School.
Yeah, the Irregular at Magic High School, which I burned through.
It's not like that.
I burned through Irregular at Magic High School in a day so that I could go see the movie with DK.
In context.
So I could go see the movie with DK at the theater. And it was an interesting movie. I was still lost because there were characters in it that hadn't appeared in the show.
Because season 2 should be coming soon.
Yeah. I got that vibe. It's like, that's going to be explained in season 2.
But,
who's the villain? What's the villain like? I need good villains.
I am not going to say.
You're not going to say?
That
it tells me it's a good guy. Is it a good guy that turns bad?
No.
Okay. All right.
It's a very good story, and when you realize what's going on, you're going to be like, aha. And it's one of those moments I don't want to take from anyone. I don't want to give any glimpse. It's really a good anime, and it's a manga. I'm currently reading the manga too when I have a chance. The manga is still going on. It started in November 2016. I know that because key things happened in November 2016.
So it's been around for a year.
Yes.
A little less than a year.
And it's already became an anime because it's that popular.
Okay.
And it's licensed by Funimation, so there is a dub.
Now he's got it's obviously a harem. He's got 8 wives.
Fiancés.
Whatever. What's the romance plot like? Is it all over the damn place with all of these different girls, or is it more streamlined than that?
It's not even streamlined. All of them feel organic.
Okay.
None of them feel like they're rushed.
Because frankly, Champione, whatever, it gave me that same vibe.
It's only
nothing was offensible in Campione.
Let me put it this way: I'm not saying that he falls in love with all 8 in this season. Mm. There's going to be a second season, I guarantee it, because the manga's still going and it did cover everything. But it feels organic, and that's what's important. It feels like you can understand why they become fiancé.
Yeah, under normal circumstances, that type of plot would turn me off. I hate ecchi anime and overly perverse anything in anime. It's one of the reasons why shows like Toradora are very high on my pantheon, because their anime romance does not rely on perversion.
Yes.
And I prefer a complete lack of perversion in my romance, because it doesn't really do anything but annoy me. Because I like the personal bond more than I like you're hot.
Yes.
Which is one of the reasons why Twilight offends me so much.
It's not a perverse anime. It's not very ecchi at all, really. And what I mean by that is like every anime has some sort of ecchi to it, but there's literally
be surprised.
little to no fan service.
Okay,
It's very story driven.
I can get behind that.
But it has the beach scene. Everyone always has a beach
Every
scene.
anime's got a beach scene.
Okay, so now it's your...
And I'm not complaining about the beach scenes.
I pass the torch on to you. Now,
all right.
Pitch me your anime, my friend.
Well, we actually covered it a little bit
in the
previous episode that we did, the short anime-centric episode.
Yep.
Mine is canon.
Kanon?
It can be pronounced either way.
Okay.
But I've heard it pronounced both ways. I've heard it pronounced Kanon. I've always pronounced it Kanon myself. But I've also heard it pronounced canon. The show is a sister show to Clannad and Air, which I went off on Air in the last episode. And I have not seen Clannad.
I have.
And you say it's very depressing at the end.
Depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
It could be very, oh, that's unique. Oh, that's depressing and happy. Or that's just screwed up.
I do need to see Clannad and judge for myself.
Yes,
and
you do.
Clannad After Story. And apparently there are movies.
Yeah, but they're really compilation movies.
They're compilation movies? Okay.
Mostly, yeah.
Well, canon, or Kanon, centers around the main character, who has returned to a town in the mountains where it almost feels like it is perpetually winter.
Okay.
It's not, but the show is very much about winter like part of the theme of the show. Each of these shows from that company, these three shows, Air, Clannad, and Kanon, focus around seasons.
Yes.
And Kanon is winter becoming spring.
All right.
I haven't seen Clannad. I can't speak to Clannad. I'm pretty sure that
it has summer. It has summer and winter in it.
I'm pretty sure Air is summer. In fact, I'm positive that Air is summer. But Canon represents winter. And it's a story of this guy coming back to this village, this town, and living with his aunt and cousin again for the first time since he was something like 10 years old.
Wow, okay.
And he remembers nothing. He does not... He had been there for some time when he was a child, and he remembers nothing about his time there, which is odd.
Yes, very weird.
It's a plot point.
Okay.
He doesn't remember a thing. And...
traumatic injury!
Over the course of the show, again, like I said, this is a harem anime. He comes into contact with a variety of girls who all have their own individual plots going on. Because it's based off a visual novel.
Yes, as always.
Naturally, a lot of visual novels will have will have the different branches. But I feel Kanon does an exceptional job
of covering the bases.
At covering all of the branches. Let's see. There is the main girl who... How to talk about this without spoiling anything? Oh, Lord. It's so hard to talk about this show without spoiling anything. I guess I can sell you on the point that sells me on the show, which is, in Japan, the show is very moe. we talked...
Got it.
Yes, very cute. We talked about that in the last episode.
Cute sells, man. Cute is justice.
Well, in the first canon series, because again, there are 2 canon shows. I'm, of course, talking about the second one. Watch the second one, people. Don't watch the first Kanon show. I haven't actually seen it, but I've heard it's terrible compared to the remake.
Like Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
Full Metal Alchemist has its... Full Metal Alchemist is great.
Yes, but like the last 15 episodes just went to shit.
It's been a very long time since I've seen it.
I've watched it multiple times. I've watched both multiple times. It loses all cognitive line of events because they were making it up as they went at that point because the manga didn't catch up to that point.
Yeah, it's been so many years since I borrowed it from someone when I was like 16.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it since. Brotherhood is my go-to.
Yeah, me too.
But, oh crap, what was I saying?
Kanon. Second one.
Watched the second one, but the second one was very moe. And in Japan, when you have a moe show, because like we talked about last time, the first canon show became a meme because her mouth was where her nose was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Derp face.
Not the best part.
In Japan, the second show, the voices were very cutesy.
Okay.
They were very like, they sound...
What the... Wait, what was that?
Apparently they sound like the Gremlins. Apparently they sound like Gizmo. They sound...
Or a minion.
Kamigawa. They sound like cute... They sound how you would imagine cute little girls sound.
Creepy.
But in the English dub, they don't sound like that at all. The English dub is played completely straight.
Okay.
It is, first of all, it's great voice acting. But second of all, it's not cutesied up, which a lot of American voice actors try to do sometimes and
but fail miserably.
Kanon is played completely straight and serious. And it's what makes the show, it's one of the things that makes the show so good. You hear about dubs surpassing the originals, one of which a lot of people reference. I talked about Claire Stanfield, Bakano. The Bakano dub.
I love the dub so much better than the sub.
The Bakano dub is fantastic.
And that's rare, because there's only a handful. Like, I can't watch Gundam Wing subbed. Just can't.
Yeah.
I can't watch Yu Yu Hakusho subbed. I can't watch Outlaw Star subbed.
Well, we both grew up.
But everything else, I have to watch subbed.
Yeah. It's like, well, certain shows that I grew up watching, I can watch things subbed. But it takes my watching things repeatedly in the dub, if I watched it subbed first, to process that as the definitive version.
Yeah.
Like, I watched Toradora, the dub. And it's good.
I watched the sub.
But Taiga is still, in my head, Taiga is still the original voice actress for Taiga. That's Taiga.
I like the voice acting for the subbed versions so much more than dubbed on 90% of the anime. There's like I said, Gundam Wing. I have to watch basically everything in my childhood that I hold the dearest, like Guyver, needs to be dubbed.
Yeah.
Gundam Wing dubbed. Outlaw Star dubbed.
That's what I was saying. It's like things we grew up with. Things we grew up with, that's what's got to be.
Well, it's the first time.
It's got to be the way we experienced when we were kids.
Yes,
that's
very
nostalgia.
Very foremost is how I first saw it.
Yeah,
it was dubbed.
It's nostalgic. But
and it just seems wrong otherwise.
Yeah, but back to Kanon. The main character comes to a town to live with his aunt and cousin, and he doesn't remember a thing. The anime is played completely straight by the voice cast.
Okay.
And he begins to meet all of these various girls that either go to his school or who he encounters in the town. Specifically, Ayu, who is one of the things that he manages to remember about having been in the town prior. This was a girl that he would play with every afternoon. He actually found her crying. She was just standing in the street crying. And everybody, yes, they were little, like, 10-year-olds.
Okay.
She's standing in the street crying, and he goes up to check on her and see if she's okay. And she just keeps crying, and then he realizes that everybody's looking at them. It's like, what is he doing to her? Why is he making that little girl cry? It's like, when he didn't, of course.
Yeah.
And he, like, okay, he grabs her hand, and he leads her away, and he buys her pork buns to cheer her up. And she's like, they're salty. And it's like, that's your tears.
Wow.
It's so frankly,
That's so depressingly cute.
I know, right? That's the main character in this show, and again, it's because it's played so straight. The main character in this show is one of my favorite anime characters and almost made my top 3 list for this episode. But frankly, I gotta give it to the ones I gave it to.
Yeah.
He is the guy who will go out of his way to help someone else. And he is presented with the occasion to do so repeatedly in this show. And because I know we're going to watch it,
Yes.
there are moments in the show that are terrifying. Surprisingly for a Moe show. There are moments in the show that are heartbreaking.
Okay.
And there are moments toward the end of the show where you feel like there's no way any of this is going to turn out okay.
But it does.
It does.
Okay.
And I'm not going to spoil how. And frankly, I had to think about why everything turned out the way it did.
Okay.
Some of the other girls that he encounters is a very quiet girl with blue hair who isn't antisocial. I guess you could call her antisocial. Who hangs out with this bubbly girl who refers to herself in the third person, which is about as... The 3 sister shows, they all have a habit of having characters in them who have these weird sound effects that they do.
Yeah.
I don't know about Clanad. The girl in Air has this, like, rattle dinosaur thing that she does. There's a girl. But there's a girl in the show who does, like, this cute little... There's like two of them in the show that have their little weird sound effects. Beyond that, and the one girl referring to herself in the third person, that's as cutesy as it gets. Everything else is played straight. There is a strange girl who sometimes comes to school and spends all day sitting around outside in the park in the snow.
Okay.
He has to investigate. He's like, "What are you doing?"
You've sold me. It's a very unique anime, right? It's definitely one I'm going to have to sit down and watch. I sadly have not seen it yet.
It is a truly heartwarming anime, even though it feels like things are... There are moments when it feels like things cannot turn out okay. And they do. And it's beautiful.
That's good to hear. I'm all about the feel-good endings. My favorite saying, and you know it very well, and the viewers probably do at this point, if you want a happy ending, it depends on where you stop the story. Orson Welles.
Yeah. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that, but I can understand...
For storytelling, it is.
I'm not sure that I agree with that on a moral standpoint, but I can understand that feeling, you know?
Yep.
I can again, we talked about fan fiction a little bit last time. It's like I can understand when something really, really goes to shit. And you just want it to be good so badly that you create your own version in your head of how things would have gone. If just this little... what if this character hadn't died? You know?
What if it stopped here?
Yeah, what if it stopped here? What if this didn't happen like this? But yeah, all of the girls in the show have their own
Quirks.
very interesting plots that are all parceled out and given, as you will in a harem, they're all covered one at a time.
That's good.
They're all touched on as you go. Like
And
they're all given equal treatment. There's a setup period, and then they all start coming down like dominoes.
How many episodes are there?
I believe it is a 24 episode.
24 to 26?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's
the one I recommended was only 12.
Oh, good. So I'll be able to just done.
You won't want to. Enjoy it.
Well, we have about 6 minutes left of podcast. Do you have another 12-episode anime you want to hit me with? I'll take double recommendation.
I do not off the top of my head. It's been a long work day, and I'm running on fumes that are fumes of the
Because I'm
fumes.
tired and I want to go to bed.
Well, you gotta think. 12-hour day, come home, drank 3 monsters, and then did a podcast.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! Oh, but I do have fun with
You're
it.
gonna
This
have
is enjoyable.
You're gonna have a fucking heart attack.
Eventually, till then, I'll keep going.
Yeah, don't drink so many monsters.
I'm just trying to get used to my new work schedule.
Yeah. Looks like this episode's running about 2 hours long.
Yep.
So,
Welcome to the long podcast. They'll generally be about this time from now on because we're now organized.
yep, we
Thanks
have
to Ozpin over here.
we have an organized structure for levels of ridiculousness now, and yeah, given what we talked about today, it should give us an idea of how things are gonna pan out for the following episodes. So 2 hours is about right.
It could go longer depending on the subject.
Or it could go shorter because we go on a lot of tangents. Depending on our energies,
Yes.
we might not want to do that all the
I was
time.
at 90% until about 15 minutes ago, and then I just went, oh, you're at 10.
He's coming down off the sugar high, folks.
The 3 monsters full of sugar high and what I assume is my heart stopping.
I'm not one to judge because he shared the monsters with me. So I'm running on the exact same fuel.
We're not sponsored or, promoted by anything, so this is just our... We like monsters.
No. Oh, I just realized what you're talking. No, we are not sponsored by Monster. We just drink them.
A lot too much.
I mean, frankly, I drink Venom more than I drink Monster.
I get Monster because I can just get them in a 10-pack.
Yeah. I mean, Venom has more of a kick. And you can get a Venom for 99 cents.
Okay, now we're just going off on random stuff.
Doesn't hurt.
No, never does. Well, guys, I am DK.
And I'm Ozpin.
And remember, you're always welcome in the kingdom of nerdom. Leave a like, leave a comment, and a viewer question. We'll gladly keep it anonymous or give you credit.
Yeah, just,
hit us up.
hit us up.
Slide into our DMs. Come on.
Subscribe, y'all, please.
See you later, Nerdians. Yes, please subscribe.
Subscribe.
See you later, Nerdians.
Have a good one.